Imagine standing on the roof of the world, where the air is thin, the mountains stretch endlessly, and every breath feels like a whisper from the heavens. This is Tibet, the mystical land known as the Kingdom of the Snows. It's a place where time seems to pause, where ancient traditions thrive, and where the spirit of a people has endured through centuries of transformation. Tibetan history is not just a tale of the past. It's a living, breathing testament to resilience, faith, and an unbreakable connection to the divine. It's the story of a people shaped by the harsh beauty of their landscape and their unwavering devotion to the teachings of the Buddha. From the rise of the great Tibetan kings, who united the region under one banner, to the establishment of Buddhism as the heart of Tibetan identity, this history pulses with a spiritual energy that has captivated seekers from all over the world. We'll delve into the lives of legendary figures like Songtsen Gampo, who laid the foundations of Tibet's spiritual legacy, and Padmasambhava, the revered Guru Rinpoche, whose teachings brought the light of Vajrayana Buddhism to this sacred land. Their stories, woven into the fabric of Tibetan culture, continue to inspire devotion and wonder. But Tibetan history is not just about its leaders. It's also about the ordinary people whose faith sustains the monasteries, the sacred chants that echo through the valleys, and the vibrant prayer flags that carry messages of hope and compassion to the wind. It's about the enduring spirit of a culture that treasures wisdom over wealth, compassion over conflict, and enlightenment over ego. In this journey, we'll uncover the hidden chapters of this spiritual saga. We'll explore the profound teachings that have shaped countless lives, the breathtaking monasteries that stand as monuments to faith, and the timeless practices that guide the Tibetan people even today. Tibetan history isn't just something to study. It's an experience, a lesson, and a doorway to understanding the power of the human spirit. Let's embark on this journey together and discover why Tibet remains a beacon of wisdom and mystery in an ever-changing world. To truly understand Tibet's spiritual prominence, we must journey back over 200 years to the transformative reign of King Songtsen Gampo. He was not just a warrior or a ruler. He was a visionary leader whose legacy still echoes across the Tibetan plateau. Songtsen Gampo unified the diverse tribes of Tibet, forging a nation with a shared cultural and spiritual foundation. But his greatest contribution was far beyond politics. It was his role in bringing Buddhism to the heart of Tibetan life. Through his marriage alliances with Princess Wencheng of China and Princess Brikuti of Nepal, King Songtsen Gampo didn't just strengthen diplomatic ties, he invited profound spiritual change. These alliances brought sacred Buddhist scriptures, revered statues, and a deep wisdom that would forever shape the identity of Tibet. The teachings of the Buddha merged with Tibet's indigenous Bon traditions, creating a unique spiritual landscape, a tapestry of rituals, beliefs, and practices that reflected both ancient heritage and new enlightenment. Under his reign, the first Buddhist temples were built, including the iconic Jokhang temple in Lhasa, which remains a cornerstone of Tibetan faith and devotion. These temples weren't just places of worship, they became sanctuaries of learning, compassion, and spiritual awakening, symbolizing a nation's journey towards enlightenment. King Songtsen Gampo's vision wasn't just about building a kingdom, it was about guiding his people toward a deeper understanding of life, compassion, and unity. His leadership planted the seeds of Buddhism in Tibetan soil, and from those seeds grew a spiritual tradition that has inspired millions across centuries. By looking back at his reign, we see not just the history of a king, but the birth of a legacy, a spiritual awakening that continues to guide the Tibetan people and all those who seek wisdom in its timeless teachings. This is more than history. It's a story of transformation, faith, and the enduring power of a visionary leader. One of the most extraordinary chapters in Tibetan history is the story of Padmasambhava, known to the world as Guru Rinpoche. His arrival in Tibet during the 8th century was not just a moment in history, it was a spiritual awakening that transformed the land into a beacon of enlightenment. Revered as a master of Vajrayana Buddhism, Guru Rinpoche brought teachings that empowered individuals to navigate the complexities of the human mind and transcend the limitations of ordinary existence. When Guru Rinpoche entered Tibet, he faced a land deeply rooted in its ancient Bon traditions. Instead of dismissing these beliefs, he harmonized them with the profound wisdom of Vajrayana Buddhism, creating a spiritual path that embraced both the old and the new. His presence was said to be so powerful that he tamed the fierce spirits of the land, converting them into protectors of the Dharma. This act symbolized not only a merging of traditions, but also a teaching for humanity, the need to confront and transform inner fears and obstacles into sources of strength. Through his teachings, Guru Rinpoche introduced methods of meditation that delved deeply into the nature of the mind. He revealed the path to understanding the true self, free from illusions and distractions. Perhaps one of the most fascinating aspects of his legacy is the concept of the rainbow body, a state of transcendence where the physical form dissolves into light. These teachings continue to inspire seekers and spark curiosity about the potential of human consciousness. His influence extended beyond philosophy and into practice. Guru Rinpoche played a pivotal role in establishing Tibet's first monastery, Samye, which became a center of spiritual learning and transformation. His teachings on devotion, compassion, and the boundless nature of the mind laid the foundation for Tibetan Buddhism as we know it today. Even now, his presence is felt in the chants that echo through monasteries, in the sacred texts studied by monks, and in the hearts of all those who seek liberation. Guru Rinpoche's story is more than a tale of the past. It's a reminder of what is possible when wisdom and compassion guide our lives. His legacy invites us to look within, confront our own shadows, and realize the luminous potential that lies at the core of every human being. In the 14th century, a profound chapter in Tibetan history began with the emergence of the Dalai Lama lineage, a spiritual legacy that would guide Tibet through both its brightest and most challenging times. The title Dalai Lama, meaning ocean of wisdom, signifies not just the depth of knowledge, but also the boundless compassion these reincarnated leaders embody. Each Dalai Lama has been seen as the physical manifestation of Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva of compassion, chosen to lead Tibet on its spiritual journey. This lineage became the heart of Tibetan Buddhism, offering guidance, unity, and hope. The Dalai Lamas have navigated the delicate balance between spiritual and political leadership, often standing as beacons of peace in times of great turmoil. They have been more than leaders. They have been symbols of Tibet's spiritual identity and resilience. The current Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, the 14th in this revered lineage, has carried this mantle with grace and courage. Born in a remote village, he was recognized as the Dalai Lama at just 2 years old, stepping into a role that would demand extraordinary wisdom and strength. Forced into exile during the Chinese occupation of Tibet, he transformed personal tragedy into a mission of global significance. Today, he is a worldwide symbol of non-violence, compassion, and the enduring spirit of the Tibetan people. His teachings resonate far beyond Tibet's borders, touching millions who seek solace in an increasingly chaotic world. He reminds us that true happiness lies not in material wealth, but in cultivating inner peace and compassion for all beings. In his words, "Our prime purpose in this life is to help others, and if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them." These simple yet profound teachings carry a universal truth that transcends cultures and religions. Under his leadership, the message of Tibetan Buddhism has reached every corner of the globe. From his advocacy for human rights to his call for environmental stewardship, Tenzin Gyatso has shown that spirituality is not confined to monasteries, but can inspire real change in the modern world. He continues to teach us that even in the face of adversity, kindness and understanding have the power to heal. The Dalai Lama lineage is not just a chapter in Tibetan history, it is a living legacy of wisdom, compassion, and the quest for enlightenment. It calls us to reflect on our own lives and the role we can play in creating a more peaceful and compassionate world. Tibetan monasteries like the iconic Potala Palace and the revered Jokhang Temple are far more than architectural masterpieces. They are living sanctuaries of faith and history, embodying centuries of devotion, resilience, and spiritual wisdom. These sacred spaces hold the essence of Tibetan culture, preserving priceless scriptures, sacred relics, and breathtaking works of art that tell the story of a people deeply connected to their spiritual heritage. The Potala Palace, perched majestically on Mapori Hill, stands as a symbol of Tibet's indomitable spirit. Once the winter residence of the Dalai Lamas, it is a treasure trove of history, its walls echoing with the prayers of monks and the footsteps of pilgrims who journey from all corners of the land. Its countless rooms house sacred texts, intricate murals, and gilded stupas, each one a testament to the profound devotion that has sustained Tibetan Buddhism for centuries. The Jokhang Temple, nestled in the heart of Lhasa, is no less extraordinary. Built over 1,300 years ago during the reign of King Songtsen Gampo, it is considered the spiritual heart of Tibet. Within its sacred halls resides the Jowo Shakyamuni, a revered statue of the Buddha said to have been blessed during his lifetime. Pilgrims prostrate themselves along the streets leading to this temple, their faith palpable in every movement. The Jokhang is not just a place of worship, it is a beacon of hope and a reminder of the enduring power of faith. The survival of these sacred sites through invasions, political upheaval, and natural disasters is nothing short of miraculous. They bear witness to the resilience of the Tibetan people, who have safeguarded their spiritual treasures against all odds. Every prayer wheel spun, every butter lamp lit, and every mantra chanted within their walls is a tribute to this unwavering faith. These monasteries are not relics of the past. They are vibrant, living symbols of spiritual inspiration. They remind us of the timeless teachings of compassion, mindfulness, and interconnectedness that are at the heart of Tibetan Buddhism. For generations, they have been places of refuge, wisdom, and transformation, not only for the Tibetan people, but for countless seekers who come to experience their profound energy. In the quiet halls of these monasteries, one can feel the weight of history and the boundless potential of the human spirit. They invite us to pause, reflect, and reconnect with what truly matters: inner peace, compassion, and the search for enlightenment. Through them, the story of Tibetan history lives on, inspiring all who dare to listen. Tibetan Buddhism is a profound spiritual tradition that weaves philosophy, meditation, and ritual into a vibrant tapestry of practice and wisdom. At its heart lies the belief in the law of karma, the cycle of samsara, and the ultimate possibility of enlightenment. These teachings go beyond abstract concepts. They are practical tools for navigating the challenges of daily life with mindfulness, compassion, and purpose. The doctrine of karma teaches that every action, word, and thought has consequences, shaping not only our current lives, but the journey of our souls through countless rebirths. It encourages us to act with kindness and integrity, knowing that our choices ripple out into the world and return to us in time. This understanding of interconnectedness forms the foundation of Tibetan Buddhism, reminding us that our lives are deeply entwined with those of all beings. Central to this spiritual path is the cycle of samsara, the endless wheel of birth, death, and rebirth, fueled by attachment, ignorance, and desire. Tibetan Buddhism offers a way to break free from this cycle through meditation, ethical living, and the cultivation of wisdom and compassion. Enlightenment, or the realization of the true nature of reality, is seen as the ultimate goal, a state of profound peace and boundless love. One of the most beloved and powerful symbols of Tibetan Buddhism is the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. Simple yet profound, this mantra embodies the essence of wisdom and compassion. Each syllable carries transformative energy, purifying the mind and opening the heart to the divine. When chanted with devotion, It is said to invoke the blessings of Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva of compassion, and to guide practitioners toward inner peace and enlightenment. Rituals, too, play an essential role in Tibetan Buddhism, creating a bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds. The spinning of prayer wheels, the lighting of butter lamps, and the offering of mandalas are acts of devotion that reinforce mindfulness and intention. These rituals, deeply rooted in centuries of tradition, remind practitioners of the sacredness in every moment and the interconnectedness of all life. Tibetan Buddhism is more than a religion. It is a way of life, a path that encourages us to look inward and discover the boundless potential of the human spirit. Its teachings inspire us to embrace compassion, live with mindfulness, and seek the deeper truths that lie beneath the surface of our everyday experiences. In a world often marked by chaos and uncertainty, Tibetan Buddhism offers a timeless guide to finding peace, purpose, and enlightenment. Through its wisdom, we are reminded that true transformation begins within. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, or Bardo Thodol, is one of the most profound and transformative texts in Tibetan history. More than just a guide to death and rebirth, it is a map for the soul, offering wisdom that extends beyond the moment of passing to illuminate the entire journey of life. Its timeless teachings provide a lens through which we can understand the impermanence of existence and prepare for the transitions we all inevitably face. This sacred text is designed to guide individuals through the bardo, the intermediate state between death and rebirth. It offers detailed instructions and prayers to help the departed navigate this liminal space with clarity and courage, facing both their inner fears and the divine opportunities that arise. But its wisdom is not limited to the deceased. It speaks deeply to the living, reminding us that every moment is a chance for transformation. At its core, the Bardo Thodol emphasizes the impermanence of life, a fundamental teaching in Tibetan Buddhism. It encourages us to confront the reality of death not as an end, but as a transition, a continuation of the soul's journey. By accepting the transient nature of our existence, we can cultivate a deeper sense of peace, mindfulness, and spiritual readiness. The text urges us to live with intention, understanding that our actions, thoughts, and spiritual practices shape not only our present life, but also our path through the bardos. The vivid descriptions in the Bardo Thodol, from the radiant visions of enlightened beings to the terrifying projections of one's own mind, serve as a mirror to the human condition. These passages teach that what we experience in the bardo reflects our own inner state, shaped by the karma we have accumulated. Through meditation, ethical living, and the practice of mindfulness, we can prepare ourselves to meet these transitions with grace and awareness. The teachings of the Bardo Thodol are not just about what happens after death. They are a call to awaken here and now. They remind us that each day is an opportunity to confront our fears, embrace impermanence, and deepen our connection to the present moment. The wisdom within this ancient text guides us to live fully, love deeply, and prepare for the ultimate journey with an open heart. In a world often marked by uncertainty, the Bardo Thodol offers a profound sense of hope. It reassures us that with spiritual preparation and courage, we can navigate the unknown with grace. It reminds us that death is not something to fear, but an integral part of the cycle of existence, a gateway to transformation and enlightenment. Through its teachings, we are invited to live with purpose and to approach the great mysteries of life and death with wisdom and compassion. Tibetan history is not just a tale of spiritual enlightenment. It is also a story of resilience in the face of profound political upheaval. The Chinese invasion of Tibet in 1950 marked a turning point that threatened to erase centuries of tradition and cultural identity. Yet, even in the face of unimaginable adversity, the Tibetan spirit has remained unbroken, a testament to the strength of their faith, culture, and unity. The invasion led to a cultural upheaval that sought to suppress Tibetan Buddhism, dismantle monasteries, and silence a way of life rooted in compassion and peace. Thousands of Tibetans were forced to flee their homeland, including the 14th Dalai Lama, who embarked on a perilous journey into exile. His departure marked the beginning of a new chapter for Tibetans, a struggle for survival and the preservation of their identity in foreign lands. In exile, the Dalai Lama and his people established a government in exile in Dharamshala, India, which became a center for Tibetan cultural and political resilience. From this base, Tibetans began the monumental task of safeguarding their traditions, language, and spiritual teachings. Schools, monasteries, and cultural institutions were built to ensure that Tibetan heritage would not be lost, even as their homeland remained under occupation. The Tibetan diaspora communities around the world are living examples of this resilience. Despite being scattered across continents, Tibetans have maintained their cultural identity with unwavering determination. Their festivals, rituals, and teachings continue to thrive, drawing global attention to the beauty and depth of Tibetan culture. Through art, literature, and public advocacy, Tibetans have kept their cause alive, inspiring millions with their commitment to nonviolent resistance. At the heart of this struggle is the enduring philosophy of nonviolence, deeply rooted in Tibetan Buddhism. Under the Dalai Lama's leadership, the Tibetan people have chosen the path of peace, even in the face of immense suffering. This commitment to nonviolence has become a cornerstone of their global advocacy, earning admiration and solidarity from people around the world. Tibetan history reminds us that resilience is not just about surviving, but about thriving in the face of adversity. It is a story of hope, unity, and the unyielding power of faith and compassion. Even as Tibetans continue to fight for justice and freedom, their unwavering spirit serves as an inspiration to all who seek to overcome challenges with grace and determination. The Tibetan struggle is more than a political conflict. It is a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure, adapt, and shine even in the darkest times. Through their courage and resilience, Tibetans offer the world a powerful lesson that even when faced with profound loss, hope and non-violence can lead the way forward. Tibetan Buddhism has captured the hearts and minds of people in the Western world, offering a spiritual depth that transcends cultural boundaries. Its teachings, deeply rooted in mindfulness, compassion, and self-awareness, provide a pathway to inner peace and liberation that resonates profoundly with those seeking clarity in the complexities of modern life. At the forefront of this spiritual offering are practices like Dzogchen and Lamrim, which have introduced countless individuals to the transformative power of Tibetan Buddhism. Dzogchen, often called the Great Perfection, is a meditative path that encourages practitioners to recognize their true nature, a state of pure awareness untouched by the distractions and illusions of daily life. It offers a direct experience of the mind's inherent clarity, guiding seekers toward a profound understanding of their place in the universe. Lamrim, or the stages of the path, is another cornerstone of Tibetan Buddhism that appeals to spiritual seekers worldwide. This structured approach to enlightenment provides a step-by-step guide to spiritual awakening, blending practical guidance with profound philosophical insight. From cultivating a sense of compassion for all beings to understanding the nature of impermanence, Lamrim offers a comprehensive roadmap to transforming the mind and opening the heart. The universal appeal of Tibetan Buddhism lies in its ability to address the timeless questions of existence. Who am I? What is the purpose of life? How can I find peace? These teachings encourage self-reflection, helping individuals break free from the cycles of stress, attachment, and dissatisfaction that often define modern living. Through practices like meditation, mindfulness, and the cultivation of compassion, Tibetan Buddhism offers tools to navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom and balance. In the Western world, the influence of Tibetan Buddhism has extended far beyond meditation retreats and Dharma centers. Its principles have inspired movements in psychology, wellness, and even social activism, emphasizing the interconnectedness of all beings and the importance of living with intention and kindness. The teachings of the Dalai Lama, with their focus on universal ethics and human values, have further amplified this message, demonstrating that Tibetan Buddhism is not just a spiritual tradition, but a guide for living a meaningful and compassionate life. Tibetan Buddhism's growing presence in the West is a testament to its timeless relevance. In a world often consumed by material pursuits and fast-paced living, these ancient teachings provide a sanctuary, a way to rediscover the profound truths that unite us all. They remind us that true liberation comes not from changing the external world, but from transforming our inner one. For those seeking a deeper connection to themselves and the universe, Tibetan Buddhism offers not just answers, but a way forward. Tibetan Buddhism is a treasure trove of mystical practices and enigmatic phenomena that have fascinated and mystified people for centuries. From the sacred rituals of oracles and the hauntingly profound sky burials to the awe-inspiring concept of the rainbow body, these elements offer glimpses into a spiritual world where the boundaries of existence are fluid and the mysteries of life and death are embraced with profound reverence. The role of oracles in Tibetan Buddhism is one such mystery. These individuals, believed to channel divine wisdom, have long served as spiritual advisors, offering guidance to monks, leaders, and communities. The state of trance they enter and the insights they share provoke both awe and skepticism, yet they remain an integral part of Tibetan spiritual tradition. Their practices challenge us to consider the unseen dimensions of existence and the possibility of connecting with energies beyond the material world. Sky burials, a deeply symbolic ritual, reflect the Tibetan understanding of impermanence and the interconnectedness of all life. In these ceremonies, the body is offered to vultures, returning the physical form to the cycle of nature. This practice, while confronting for many, is a profound expression of Tibetan Buddhism's view of death, not as an end, but as a transition. It invites us to face the inevitable with grace and to honor the impermanence of our existence. Perhaps the most enigmatic of all is the rainbow body, a phenomenon where advanced practitioners, through years of meditation and spiritual discipline, are said to transcend physical form, leaving behind only light. While this concept may seem otherworldly, it symbolizes the ultimate realization of Tibetan Buddhist teachings, the dissolution of the ego and the recognition of our true nature. It pushes the boundaries of what we perceive as possible, inspiring both deep curiosity and spiritual aspiration. These mystical practices invite us not just to witness, but to question and explore. They challenge our understanding of life, death, and the universe, encouraging us to approach these mysteries with open minds and hearts. Whether through skepticism or belief, engaging with these traditions allows us to grow, to learn, and to embrace the infinite possibilities of existence. Tibetan Buddhism's mystical elements are more than rituals. They are windows into a profound worldview that values transformation, connection, and the exploration of life's greatest mysteries. They remind us that not all questions require answers. Sometimes, it is in the act of questioning itself that we find wisdom. By delving into these practices, we take a step toward understanding the depth of Tibetan history and the boundless potential of the human spirit. Tibetan history holds timeless wisdom that resonates deeply in the complexities of the 21st century. At its core, it is a story of balance, a delicate dance between material and spiritual needs, a commitment to compassion over conflict, and a profound understanding of our interconnectedness. These lessons are not relics of the past, but guiding principles for navigating the challenges of our modern world. In Tibetan tradition, the pursuit of inner peace has always been valued alongside the necessities of survival. This balance reflects an awareness that true fulfillment cannot come from material wealth alone. Tibetan Buddhism teaches that while the external world is transient, the cultivation of the mind and heart creates lasting harmony. This perspective offers a powerful antidote to the relentless pace and materialism that often define modern life. Compassion, a cornerstone of Tibetan philosophy, stands as a beacon of hope in an era often marked by division and conflict. Tibetan history reminds us that strength does not come from domination, but from understanding, kindness, and the ability to see ourselves in others. This universal message encourages us to respond to the struggles of our time, not with anger or indifference, but with empathy and action. Perhaps the most relevant teaching from Tibetan history is the recognition of our interconnectedness. In a globalized world where the actions of one nation or individual can ripple across continents, this ancient wisdom feels more urgent than ever. Tibetan Buddhism teaches that we are all part of an intricate web of existence, where the well-being of one is intertwined with the well-being of all. This principle inspires us to act with responsibility and care, knowing that our choices shape not only our lives, but also the world around us. Tibetan history also offers resilience as a lesson for the modern age. From the preservation of culture in exile to the unwavering commitment to non-violence, Tibetans have shown the power of faith and unity in the face of adversity. Their example reminds us that even in the most challenging circumstances, there is always a path forward grounded in hope and determination. These teachings are not confined to monasteries or ancient texts. They are alive in the way we live, the choices we make, and the values we uphold. Tibetan history invites us to pause, reflect, and find harmony in a world often out of balance. It calls us to embrace compassion as a way of life, to honor our interconnectedness, and to seek not just personal success, but collective well-being. In a time when humanity faces unprecedented challenges, Tibetan history stands as a source of timeless guidance. It reminds us that while the external world may change, the principles of mindfulness, compassion, and unity remain constant, offering us a path to navigate the complexities of the present with wisdom and grace.